Hello, and welcome to our annual recital, Shining His Light. Of course, last year we had to cancel due to the pandemic, and I don't think it's a coincidence that our theme was Behold, all things are become new, and new it is. I'm just grateful that we're able to gather today, and I would actually like to just take a moment to bow our heads and pause for a moment of silence in memory and honor of every life that is no longer with us. Amen. Right at the beginning of the pandemic, I lost my aunt and uncle to COVID. We've all witnessed all forms of chaos and uncertainties, death and injustices. And although I really believe we all agree that all lives matter, some of our brothers and sisters, because of isolated and targeted hatred, have felt it necessary to take to the streets and social media with specific shouts of Blue Lives Matter, Asian Lives Matter, LGBTQ plus lives matter, Palestinian lives matter, Latin lives matter, and Black lives matter. Unfortunately, it feels that these cries for compassion that were intended for unity have instead been received with more division. We've not only lost loved ones, but certain freedoms and opportunities to do what we love and be with whom we love due to social distancing and necessary isolation. Our students' education has been encompassed by multiple quarantines, and celebrations of academic accomplishments have been interrupted. Many churches are still closed, and businesses, especially privately and locally owned, such as FEM, if they survive the mandated closures, are still struggling. Night after night, I cried out to God, not knowing if I could open the studio safely and if I should open the studio. But He reminded me of our ministry call in Isaiah 61. Verse 4 specifically says, "They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations." So Lord, how do we rebuild? How do we restore? How do we renew? Every time I asked Him that question, He responded, "Shine my light. Shine my light. Just shine my light." So this year's theme is John 1 and 5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. We know the light to be Christ. And in the first verse of John, it tells us that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. All things were created through Him, and apart from Him, not one thing was created that has been created. In Him was life, and that life was the light of men. So how do we rebuild, restore, and renew? We shine His light. Our FEM dancers have pressed the limits to prepare for today. They are using their light to pray for others, to keep believing and proclaiming that He is right next to us. And as they're walking in His light through each dance today, may you, if nothing else, experience His presence by our love.